Hello. I was wanting to mention to you that there have been some changes on the Ancestry DNA website. Um, uh, but before I get to that, I was wanting to mention to you that um, uh, what a lot of people have done is they would get their DNA testing done at two different companies and compare the two and all. And I want to say maybe like 3 months after I did the Ancestry DNA test, excuse me, I uh, did my heritage DNA. It's called My Heritage DNA. If you guys want to go to that. Over in this, with this one doesn't really show the countries, it mainly show the regions. It says that I'm 48.3% Nigerian, which is the west side, basically the west side of Africa. It shows 25.5% West African. You know, that could be Ivory Coast, Ghana, Benin, Togo. Sorry, just on the west side of Africa. It doesn't really say the country, it just says west side of Africa. Then it has 18.1% Kenyan, which is on the east side of Africa. 4.3% Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. And it says 3.8% other, which is 1.8% Central African, could be any country in Africa. And it has 1.2% West Asian, which is around in Turkey, around in that area. And it has 0.8% Central American, which is a little Native American. Now, this is my new results. It has me down, excuse me, it has me down as 39% Cameroon Congo and Southern Bantu. Just to point, I just want to point something out. The DNA doesn't change, the regions change. Keep that in mind. Okay, that's 28% Mali, 18% Benin, Togo, 4% England, Wales, Northwestern European. That's 4%, and it moved up to, I want to say 2% more than it was before. In Nigeria, and it moved up 2 more points, 4%, whereas before it was 2%. Now it has Ivory Coast Ghanaian at 3%. Ireland and Scotland, that moved up from 2% to 3%. And instead of like saying Western European, it mainly points out Germanic Europe, which is 1%. That's like in around Germany and a little bit of French. It just had its the German area circled. Whereas it's also let's see, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Belgium, just around in that area where the German area is. Yes, and just want to point out a few things because on my first DNA test it said I was 29% Ivory Coast and Ghanaian. And I decided, what, since that's mainly my genetic makeup, I like to study a little bit about that area. And one thing that I learned was one of their trades in that area was, the ivory tusk from elephants and cocoa and chocolate. So they're one of the largest uh, cocoa and chocolate trade points in the world. So that's one of the largest areas where they have the cocoa and chocolate. And for a long time, I took pride in myself saying, "Oh, I'm mainly Ivory Coast and Ghanaian." Now, since the regions change, not that I have anything against Cameroon, Congo, but now it says that I am 39% uh, Cameroon, Congo. But that was on my original DNA. It had me 26% Cameroon, Congo. Now it has me down as 39% Cameroon, Congo. Um, so on my new one, it has doesn't have me down as Polynesian anymore. Doesn't have me down as Caucasus anymore, which is the area where Turkey is. Um, and one thing I noticed on my heritage DNA, that one didn't change at all. It just still has me down as mainly my Nigerian and West African and a little bit of a European. Um, on my heritage DNA, it has me down as 93.7% African, and now on my Ancestry DNA, it has me down as 92% African. So, I just wanted to point that out to you guys, and reason being is because if you have taken your Ancestry DNA test recently, things may have changed slightly on your DNA hasn't changed, but the regions change, and since they have a lot of people sending in their DNA tests and all, your they will get a more accurate description of where your heritage comes from. So I just want to point that out that you may want to go back and look into Ancestry DNA and these other companies to see if there's any changes that have been made. I just thought that I should bring that up. Um, One thing I want to point out is this: it's sad, but it did happen in our history where there were some slaves that were raped by their owners, and that's where a number of us African Americans have gotten our European traces from that. So my point is that since I'm heavily into ancestry, and genealogy and all of that, if I want to locate a relative, because when you send in your DNA, they also let you know they match your DNA with other people, and that's how a lot of people have found relatives, which I have found a few thus far already. But for me, if they're black, I'll look for them. If they're white, I'll wait for those people to look for me. And the reason why I do this is because, I have Caucasian friends, and they feel embarrassed and shameful because their some of their ancestors were slave owners, and they feel embarrassed about it. So the way I look at it is this: if they're black, I'll look for them. If they're Caucasian, I have them look for me. I think that's the best way of handling that. I just need to know, you guys' opinion on that. Also, speaking of that, Thomas Jefferson do have people who are, there's some people that are Thomas Jefferson's descendants that are around today, and some of them are black, but they are proud to say they're a descendant of Thomas Jefferson. So I'm like thinking, that's kind of strange, because you're a victim of rape. At least your ancestor was a victim of rape. Just let me know what you guys think of that, because a lot of people have a right to say who their ancestors are, but I think that's just a little shaky when they say that they're a descendant of Thomas Jefferson, but I guess everybody feels differently about it. Also, just want to point out also that in the Western, I decided, to learn a few things about my heritage in Africa, and I wanted to learn a few, even if it's just a few words of the languages. Well, I looked into Ivory Coast and Ghana and Cameroon and Congo. The problem with those countries is that they can have at least 50 different languages, and I have an idea that they're tribal, and I don't know what my tribes are, that are over there. But their predominant language, and on the west side of Africa, and even some in the central part of Africa is French and English. So, at one point, I wanted to learn Spanish because I have a huge Latino population around here, and I just may look into that. But now that I find out that these countries speak French, I feel that I can learn it and it'll come natural to me because that's who I find out that I really am now. So I feel like it can come natural. So, I do want to learn French. I'm not sure about Spanish now. I may learn either Spanish or French or both. I'm not really sure yet. And just to let you know that that changes in the DNA tests, have changed. I decided to just bring that up. But I'll see if I can put some pictures in along with this video, of the my heritage DNA, my first ancestry DNA, and my current ancestry DNA test. Thanks. Bye.